Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Sri Gaura Priyamurtaye Srimate Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswamine Namaha Yatindriya Namastubhyam Gaura Krishna Priyatmane Rupanugagati Gyaya Gurudevaya Te Namaha. Patit Pavan Param Karunamay Paramaradhyatam Srila Gurudev Nityalila Pravishtha vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaja जी के श्रीपाद पद्म में असंख्य कोटि साष्टांग दंडवत प्रणाम करते हुए उनकी अहेतु की कृपा प्रार्थना करता हूँ. By the mercy of most revered Srila Gurudev, we have been discussing here about the transcendental glories of the holy name through the holy life of Srila Haridas Thakur. Now, yesterday we discussed about the qualifications of a religious preacher. So we try to understand that preacher means the person who is an acharya, who practices and then preaches. So it's very clearly mentioned here. Every true preacher of religion should live the principles he preaches. That's very important. If we don't live up to the principles we preach, then that preaching is useless. Preaching without practice doesn't carry any importance, any value, any worth. Our most revered Srila Param Gurudev always used to specify on this point that always follow me, not just my lecture. So it's not that you just listen to the lectures, Harikatha from this year, and then from this year you push it out and only keep this material world in the heart. No. What we have to do is we have to study the person. So we have to listen to the conduct of the person. We have to look at the conduct of the person. That's very important. One person, one famous reputed person used to live in the Holy Land, Bharat, and one time one mother along with her son approached him asking for an advice because the child is very fond of eating sugar. And now this reputed gentleman, he asked that lady to come after 1 month so that he will give her the best solution. She went back along with the child, and then after 1 month when she came back, then the gentleman is saying to the boy, to the child, that it's not good to eat sugar. If you eat sugar, it will spoil your body. It's not good. So stop eating sugar. This lady was so surprised. She said, if you have to say only this much, what's wrong with you that you could have told the same thing when we visited you last time? Then this gentleman, he says, last time when you visited me, even I was also very fond of eating sugar. Now, it's already 1 month. I have practiced to stop eating sugar. So now, I feel myself qualified to advise your son. So that's why I am now advising. Before I was also eating, when I myself is eating sugar, how can I tell your son that it's not good, it's harmful to your body to take the intake of sugar? So what we practice, that is what is spoken and that is what is understood. But what we don't practice, what if we speak, then also it's not going to put any impact on the life of anyone. Like if a person is smoking and then he will tell his son, you should not smoke, it's not going to help. A person who says you should not smoke means he himself should stay away from smoking. That's very important. Unless we practice, nothing is taken as an ideal. When we practice by ourselves our own conduct, then only the effect is seen in others. So that's very important thing, even in this material world. And when we talk about the spiritual world, then we have to be even more and more careful. We can't just speak high philosophies with no values. We can't just speak. We speak about taking shelter in the lotus feet of Sri Guru, but so unfortunate that we ourselves hesitate to glorify Sri Guru. What is the point? There are such personalities. They only like to speak about other personalities, those who have attained some name and fame, those who got some name and fame, only to attract their masses. The way they glorify these people, if they could sincerely glorify their respective spiritual masters and the Guru Parampara, naturally they will be on an elevated state. This is what we have to understand. So we have to live a life which is an embodiment of Shastras. We have to find the personality who is the embodiment of all these Shastras. So when we follow the person, when we look at the person, when we study the person, it's natural that we have studied all the bona fide scriptures. We don't need to repeatedly check on with different other kinds of literature. Simply by reading the book, simply by observing the person, staying with the person, serving the person, associating with the person, naturally all the scriptures will manifest within the heart of that aspirant. That is the speciality, because this person is the living example of that bona fide scriptures. That's very important, which is being emphasized on. We go anywhere, we see some person is more famous, and then immediately, because many people rush behind him, and then we go behind him, because for us also, or maybe it's all about the propaganda, how we make that highlight, how we make the propaganda. If there is no propaganda, if there is no crowd, nothing, then naturally we will not have that kind of attraction. So that's why many people are more and more focused on media. They even pay huge amount of money, because, and they consider themselves that to be their capital, making it as a profession. I remember very well in year 2001, when most revered Srila Gurudev, Nityalila, Pravishtha, vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Goswami Maharaja, he has expressed his desire to visit southern India, especially the city named Bangalore. And I was the one, along with one more god brother, Sundarananda Das. We both were instructed and by most revered Srila Gurudev to go and make the necessary preparations, along with my god brother Naveen Krishna Prabhu, who now lives in Pune. So we went to Bangalore and we found one organization, North Indian organization, who hosts different kinds of religious leaders. So we approached them asking for the program. The first thing they asked, what is the amount of money you charge for the program? We told them we are not professional, so we are not going to charge anything because we are not professional people. We are here only because to preach the message of divine love which was propagated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago, which is the ultimate object of attainment for the conditioned soul suffering in this material world. And this message is so special, it is beyond any discriminations of a gender or some position whatsoever it is. So we have come for that purpose, not for the purpose of acquiring some money or maybe some resources or something. Immediately they denied our program. They said, no, you don't want to charge. That clearly says that you don't have market. People are not fond of you. That's why there is no price fixed by you. So we have recently organized a program for one sadhu, and he himself charged 30 lakh rupees. So they said we had a huge amount of donations collecting because we have to give him 30 lakhs. Just for a 2-3 days seminar, just for 2-3 days program. So this is the kind of expectation which people have already made in their minds. So many of them, they have this fixed amount of money being charged for the programs. And there are so many people, if you request them that we want you to go with us for the kirtan, immediately they ask what benefit we are getting. You have to tell them you will be paid 1,000 rupees, maybe you will be paid 2,000 rupees, something like that. We'll pay. Then they feel like, okay, very nice. Then it's a successful program. If you have nice food to eat, nice donation to receive, that means the program is successful. If there is no proper prasad, and then if there is no one to offer you some donation, that means it's a flop program. People are becoming like that in the name of religion. Such people, they can far better work somewhere on daily wages and they can fill their stomach. Those who earn money, those who grab money in the name of God and try to use it for their own purpose, such people will not even find a little amount of place in hell also. Even hell also rejects such people, that such a kind of person is unworthy to live in hell even. Those who are unworthy to survive in heavenly planets or in this material world, they are sent into hell. Those who are the people, those who are the offenders. And this person who steals the money of the Lord, even hellish people also, people in those planets also doesn't want to look at their dirty face. The name of the Lord is not to be sold. The names of the Lord is not meant for any kind of business. It should be performed with the sole purpose that may the Lord be pleased by my Harinam, by my sadhana. Such a kind of personalities, those who live for the pleasure of the Lord, those who sing for the pleasure of the Lord, they are the personalities who ultimately attain the highest perfection of the life. All others have to cry, all others have to suffer. So that's why it is said, the most important, when we talk about Harinam, then we have to find the right person who has the qualification to speak about Harinam, to glorify Harinam. Like that. And who is that person? Who is actually practicing Harinam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Those who chant attentively, those who chant carefully. And it's so interesting, there are many people who chant Harinam. How they chant? They hold the beads like this, and the bead bag is hanging on those fingers. They just hook it with the fingers and then they chant. They keep on shaking the beads like this, making some sound, and then nodding their face like this, their head like this, and then they are chanting Hare Ram Ram Hare. Not like this. Attentively we have to chant, and also for the pleasure of the Lord we have to chant. One who doesn't chant the holy name for the pleasure of the Lord, such persons are ultimately not getting any kind of benefit in their life. Their life is good for nothing. Chanting should be done peacefully. Chanting should be done with no other motive. Chanting should be performed while not getting involved in any other business. And it should go smoothly, pleasant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In this way. So anyhow, then only the potency of the holy name is revealed to the aspirant. One who is chanting so carelessly, with so many ulterior motives, or maybe one who is not at all chanting, such persons, they are the losers. They are the losers. They lose everything in their life. No Shastra is revealed to such person. Nothing is attained to that person. He attains nothing. So what it is said? The views raised by Gopal Chakravarti are those holding sway in the heart of vast part of population that goes by the name of intellectuals or learned men. So all these so-called intellectuals, all these learned scholars and all those kind of people, they always raise such a kind of questions, topics. Why? Because they think too much about themselves. According to their sterile brains, they think they are the best. Because they have read so many books. There is a saying in Hindi, Pad pad poti pandit bhayanak hoy. Even a scholar also, after he repeatedly reads different books, he becomes very dangerous. Too much of wisdom with zero realization is a disaster. Lots of wisdom is there, but it's of no use, because not a single drop of that wisdom is realized. So all these intellectual people, because they don't give that space for realization, they always keep on beating their head with the intellect. Such people are useless people. And these people, they depend on their own efficiency. They don't depend on the Shastras. They don't depend on the devotees. According to them, they are the best. So they depend on their efficiency, their reasons and their experiences. So whatever they experience, it can be a speculation also. It can be a concoction also. We never know. Because when a person is not following the footsteps of a pure devotee, and when a person is trying to act smart and do things according to the way he likes, then whatever comes up in the heart, not necessarily that it is bona fide. Because there is no such thing to which he is connected, which confirms the content to be bona fide. So what they do? They feel that they have appreciable command over the scriptures, over the shastras, literature. Unfortunately, what happens? They fall for the victim to the wise saying. What is the saying? Little learning is dangerous. Half knowledge is very dangerous. If we don't have any knowledge, that is also okay. If we have complete knowledge, that is also okay. But the one who has half knowledge, such people are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So these people are they fall under the category where all these half knowledge people are existing. Often they are like the people, like the frog in the well. The frog in the well, they are like that only. They think that whatever is there in this well is the whole world for them. Because they are the well, they are the frog in the well. They have never come out, so they don't even know that some other world is also existing. Like right now we are in this room and we are unable to see what's there behind the wall. And now I may say that nothing is existing. And then you may try to convince me that no, there is so much. Once you get out of this room, you will see that it's quite big. I will say I am not going to accept it, because I see whatever is visible, that's all. So like this, the frog in the well, like it's like a well, the room is like a well, and I am like a frog sitting in the room, and I see that whatever I see, that is what is existing, nothing else is existing. These people also, whatever their brains say that this is the meaning, this is the essence, this is everything, that will be the final thing for them. They are not ready to accept the any other's view or realization about the subject matters. And they have what they have got their own peculiar notions on any topic which according to them is the highest philosophy. So they have got their own feelings. Like one person says, Shrimatam Suchimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrashto Abhijayate. So what it is said, Suchimatam, so they say that cleanliness. So every day if you properly clean your room, then the Lord is pleased, and the person whose practice has remained in the middle, they will attain perfection. That your people of Yoga Bhrashta, the one who could not succeed in his sadhana in the past life, if he can broom his room nicely, keep everything clean, surroundings, and if he can earn Shrimatam, if he can become rich, then his life will be successful. Such kind of commentaries also people they give, and according to them that is the final. if you try to explain them that this is not the meaning of this particular verse, it hurts their ego. It hurts their ego, and they are not ready to accept. Even though externally they may be an intellectual person, but when it comes to the spiritual practice and spiritual life, they are the most foolish people which can ever be seen. Like that. For them, their own understanding is the sublime truth, and for them their own understanding is the common goal of achievement. What I understood, I shall attain that. That is what I have to practice, and that is what I shall attain. And these people, they are not serious in their life. We may think that when we are talking about the glories of the holy name, why we have to elaborate on this particular topic? It's very important. As we give donations to the person who is unworthy, as a result of doing so, we have to become, our life becomes useless. As it is said in the scriptures, apatra dane bhave daridra. If you give charity to the person who is unworthy to receive the charity from you, because of giving charity to such a kind of person, you will lose your treasure. So we are in this world, we are linked with each other. That's why we are indebted to other living entities, because we are linked with them. Alone, it's not possible to survive. So we are living in the community, a community where various kinds of people, they all live together. And especially when we talk about the devotee community, spiritual community, then we should always try to get the company of like-minded people by whose conduct and whose inspiration helps us to progress in our spiritual life. That's more important. That's why these are very important. All these things are considered as substitutes, supplements. All these things what we are discussing is like supplement. When we understand all these things and follow all these things and take the medicine, that is Harinam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we take this medicine, when we take the holy name, when we chant the holy name, what happens? Along with these supplements, then the realization comes very quickly. If not, realization is not going to come so quick. Lord is not bound that He has to come to us and help us realize Him. No. You stay with someone who has no desire for Krishna, and then you chant the holy name. Like you have no desire to chant the holy name, and then you hold the beads and watch the television or maybe the mobile phones or other things, and then keep on doing like this and shaking the beads. What result is going to come? It's not a toy. It's not an object of fun. Like that. Ek Krishna Naam kare sarva papakshay. You can't even imagine that how many kinds of sins a person can ever commit. Everything will be washed away completely just by one holy name, utterance of one single holy name of the Lord. Such a powerful holy name, when we have to chant, it has to come from the right source. Right source. That's very important. That's why here it is specifically mentioned about this point of having qualified preachers. Qualified preachers. a qualified recipient, a qualified disciple, a qualified follower is the qualified preacher. That's what we heard from most revered Srila Guru Maharaj as well as Srila Shiksha Gurudev Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Niketan Turyashrami Goswami Maharaj. A perfect disciple is a perfect spiritual master. If a person is not perfect disciple, then it's not possible that he can be a perfect spiritual master, a perfect guide, a perfect mentor, a perfect guardian, perfect spiritual father. Not at all possible. So it can be anyone, not only just initiating spiritual master, it can be instructing spiritual master also. How can we accept him as an instructing spiritual master when he himself has no devotion towards the holy name, when he himself has no devotion towards the words of his spiritual master? Such people only create disasters in the society. Such people only spoils the society, nothing else. So that's why we have to understand this very well. When we understand the supplements, then we take the medicine, our disease is cured. What is our disease? Averse from the love of God. We don't want to love Him. We don't want to relish His love. We want to use our intelligence, our brains, and we want to make the Lord act according to our will. That's what is going on in this world right now, where we give so much of importance to even a silly dream which we get. Dream is end of the day just a dream. The moment you wake up, I may be having darshan of Gopinath or Govind, Madan Mohan, whatever. The moment I wake up, I am in the same garbage where I am. It's good, it's a good sign. But why in the dream he has to come as the person? We should not be satisfied just by watching dreams. Most of the people, they dream in the night, and there are many people, they dream in the day. They are awake and then they keep on thinking, and then that's the way they dream. Like that. So we have to understand. Qualification is very important. When we are qualified, we will attain, we will realize. When we are not qualified, then there won't be anything to realize. But these fallen people, for them, their half knowledge, half realization, everything half. I still remember the first day I joined this movement. I was in the train traveling with the devotees, and now it was the second day and I absolutely have no knowledge about Krishna consciousness, absolutely no knowledge. But it was second day, and devotees are like very soft-hearted people, so whatever they have to discuss, they hardly cares that whether some new person is there, some neophyte is there, whether someone is eligible to understand, nothing. They just spontaneously keep on speaking. So the devotees who were there with whom I was traveling, they started speaking about something, some problems, some missionary problems. Now, I know nothing, not even Mahamantra properly, but when the discussion came up, I went there so that I can give my opinion on the subject matter. So, foolish people, that's their nature, that's what they do. You should learn. It was the second day, what you know, what you understand in the second day. But no, half knowledge people, they think I know everything now. I am expert. I am well versed, no one can challenge me, I know very well. This kind of rotten mentality is very much found in these kind of intellectual people. They hear bits and pieces from here and there. They don't even read the whole content, or they don't even have the patience to listen to the whole story, and they forget about practicing what they heard. They just hear bits and pieces from here and there, and then keep quoting one word from here, one word from there, speaking something, and then try to present that they know everything. Such people are the most unfortunate people. They are not prepared to hear anything more than this. They are not prepared. If you try to explain them, then also they have to make their own point on the top. The best advice for such kind of people, I would say that better, those who want Krishna, they better stay away from such people. Those who have no desire to listen, whoever the person is, understand that it is very difficult with that person. Shravanam sarva dharmebhyo vayomanye tapodhana. The one who has no ability to listen, the one who has no quality to listen, he is unworthy to speak. He is not qualified to speak. First listen, Shravan, and then comes Kirtan. So all these qualified personalities, they have first heard from the bona fide authority. If you hear from the bona fide authority and practice under the shelter of bona fide authority, then you will be bona fide at one point of time to convey the bona fide message of the Guru Parampara and help people. If not, no. Today every second person is a preacher, and they keep on speaking all the nonsense whatever they can speak about parampara, anything. Because they have these MBA qualifications, they have these techniques to preach, they have this quality, they have this style of presentation, and they have this reputation. When you are a reputed person with a good, nice degree next to you, and then you have this management skills so that you can make nice presentation, and then that will be all. You keep on speaking whatever nonsense you would like to speak, and then make it as a bona fide statement. There are so many such kind of people in this world today. What to do? That's why this is very important. Half knowledge people, some think themselves to be much superior than Hanuman. Some people they think themselves to be superior than Prabhupada. Some people they think that worshipping other demigods is useless. Where did all this knowledge coming from? It's all coming from their foolish brains. One pointed exclusive devotional practice doesn't mean that you have to reject other demigods. There is nothing to reject in Krishna consciousness. There is nothing to reject. People think I was in Holland and then I got to learn that there were preachers who were even saying that it's not recommended, it's like you should only have one pointed devotion for Krishna, you should not visit any other places, or this and all. England maybe, I don't, wherever, somewhere in Europe. What is this? If we follow such people, they are creating a kind of rejection, dvesh, means a kind of enviousness towards others in the name of bringing vairagya, in the name of making the person one pointed towards Krishna. When we say reject this, accept this, reject this, accept this, then naturally the person, the spirit soul, will not be able to accept neither this nor this. Rejection is not the solution. Glorifying, emphasizing on the importance of that particular relation is more important. Because we have to come out of the level of attachment, as well as we have to come out of the level of detachment. We have to be constant. We have to be equal, pleasant, wonderful, like that, which is more important. Which is more important. But the people, they use their brains and they keep on training people in their own way. Then how you will have the desire to chant Harinam? You say that reject all these mantras, just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. It sounds good, but it is not going to inspire. Why this? At one point, one fine day, this question will come up. So that's why we have to understand. When the question arises, answer should be there in the heart itself. Because logical way of presentation, logical way of imposition of Siddhanta, of a Mahabhagavat or whatsoever it is, everything is going to fail one day. A person naturally develops his faith on a particular person, on a particular sadhu. Even holy name is not one. There are many. Anek lokeru vancha, anek prakar kripate karile anek namera prachar. Not just one name, there are many names of the Lord. And then Lord knows, different people have different tastes, different desires. That's why He empowered all those holy names equally potent. Why? Because someone would like to take one name and someone would like to take another name, like that. And then whichever name they take and then they chant the holy name, surrender to the holy name, then the life becomes meaningful, successful. And finally they have the spiritual attainment. Holy name is also manifesting in many forms. And Nityananda Tattva also, Baladev Tattva also, in the form of the spiritual master and the pure devotee, manifests in many forms. Your brain says that this person is good for you, then you just follow the person. But trying to impose that person on others, that's totally wrong. That's totally wrong. Recently I heard someone from one city called devotee from other city. What's your business that why you have to call some other person in some other city? And then he is already initiated by some other sannyasi. And then criticizing him, saying that my guru is the only guru and no one else is acharya. What is this? By the only foolish people, unworthy, unqualified people do such kind of preaching. So you have spoiled your spiritual life. What is this? Why do you create some question mark? Why do you create some doubt in them? Encourage them so that they can chant the holy name. If you can't encourage, at least you don't create some conflict. I was in France, and then one lady came to me crying says that people are not ready to accept my Gurudev as Uttam Bhagavad. What to do now? They are unhappy with my Guru. And then she is crying. She feels herself abandoned. When you can't give love, it's wise to keep the mouth shut. Instead discouraging people. It's too hard that one person comes into the path of Krishna consciousness. Instead of encouraging them to chant for the holy name. If you have the problem, you should deal with the preacher, not with the follower. If you have the problem, you go to the preacher and then ask him, what's your problem? First of all, whoever, whatever does anything wrong, they are responsible for their spiritual life. Lord sees everything, Gurudev sees everything, Parampara sees everything. And that person, that preacher is answerable to the Parampara. He is not answerable to you or me or anyone. He is answerable to Parampara. Gurudev is watching, Mahaprabhu is watching, everyone is watching there. This is what we have to understand. We should not discourage people. All those rotten-minded, crooked-minded, all these so-called counselors and preachers, they all always try to discourage people and spoil their spiritual life. That's why it's mentioned here about the qualification of a bona fide preacher. If a stupid preacher is there who criticizes others and who spoils the consciousness of others by speaking all the useless things to the people, then how you will perform bhajan? Because mind is already in this material world, it's engrossed in this material world. This mind only wants to enjoy this material world. And when such crazy mind, when you tell the mind, please chant Hare Krishna, that fellow did like this Mataji did like this, he is not good, I am not good, I don't know, like this, like that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. And after that, brain goes wrong, and then Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Ram. Yes, Prabhu, Hare Ram. Ultimately, where is that desire for Harinam? Where is that respect for Harinam? Where is that respect for the pure devotee who is reciting the holy name? Not possible. That's why it is said. It's very important. We should not be like Gopal Chakravarti, who is foolish fellow, who is foolish person, who is not ready to accept any scriptural injunctions or whatsoever it is. He is only going just whatever has entered into his brain. That's it. He doesn't want to listen anything other than this. Even though Srila Haridas Thakur is mercifully quoting various scriptural evidences, but he is not ready to accept anything, not ready to listen anything, because his brain, it's like fixed, it's recorded, the program is designed already, so it goes according to that only. It's not ready to accept anything new, like that. And also for this, to listen, they don't have patience also. They don't have patience to listen. They only like to speak, bark what is in their mind. They are not willing to listen. If you listen, then at least you will understand. But not ready to listen even. That's their speciality. So what is happening? This is actually what we have seen in Gopal Chakravarti too. He feels that he has understood the entire range of Shastras. There are not one Gopal Chakravarti. There are countless number of Gopal Chakravarti today in this world. Not just one. Countless number of Gopal Chakravarti. Every second fellow is Gopal Chakravarti these days, because everyone is trying to play smart. They think that I am smart. That's it. And such people, they think they understand, they have understood everything. Everything. He has finally come to the conclusion that merging oneself in the impersonal Brahman by means of the knowledge is the ultimate teaching of the scriptures. So he has come to that conclusion. Now liberation is ultimate. Nothing more. We have to merge in Brahman. That's all. We have to become one with Brahman. Most of the people, 90% of the people go with this conception only. Because the tendency of as enjoyer, the heart always says enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So he wants to be the supreme controller, proprietor and enjoyer. So devotees in their doctrines, devotees in their teachings, they always emphasize on the point that we are the slaves of the Lord. We are not the enjoyers. Enjoyer is only Krishna. Supreme Lord is the solo enjoyer. So we don't want to be the servant of the Lord. We want to be enjoyer. Before we want to be enjoyer as a senior devotee, and then we want to be enjoyer as a specially reputed devotee. Again we want to be enjoyer, like we need that I am like not less than any sannyasi, and after some time not less than any acharya. This kind of mentality that I should be glorified, such kind of mentality of all these people, those who are like Gopal Chakravarti, they consider that we are superior, I am knowledgeable. And we can see such people in this world. So they are so strange. What kind of humility they have learned in their life, only Krishna knows. They are so hesitant even to address a reputed person with due respect. They are reluctant to address someone with respect, and they talk about devotion, they talk about humility. A person who can't practice humility has no right to speak about humility, and no right to speak about the holy name. First go to your spiritual master, surrender to his lotus feet, beg for forgiveness that I have abandoned you, and then chant the holy name. Like that. So anyhow, this person Gopal Chakravarti, he has come to this conclusion. So how he can accept that no, you are the servant of the Lord, you have to surrender to the Lord, you have to chant his holy name? How he will accept? Not possible for him to accept. His heart doesn't allow him for this. He never believes anything more than this. In fact, this is the only one-sided view. It is not, that is not the full import of the Shastras. So now, what Haridas Thakur is doing, instead of placing the individual opinions, experiences and the reasonings, Haridas Thakur draws our attention to the scriptural authority, which is the only sound source of knowledge, means praman, evidence, proof, shabda praman, shabda praman, sound authority. There are different authorities. Pratyaksha, what you see, with your eyes. And then Anuman, speculation. And then this is Shabda, sound authority. So he is only placing, he is drawing the attention of everyone towards the sound authority, towards the scriptures, because scriptures are the injunctions of the God. They are not created by anyone. They are just articulated 5,000 years ago because people have so much of garbage to store in their brains and they have less amount of space to store the wisdom coming from Vedic literature, from ancient time, since time immemorial. So that's why Vyasadeva, out of his mercy upon the fallen souls of this world, what he has done, he has inscribed everything in the form of books. So what happens here? So Srila Haridas Thakur, he is quoting from those bona fide literature. Gopal Chakravarti and his type of persons depose that they are believers in God and Shastras. All these people like Gopal Chakravarti, they are very dangerous. They believe, they pose in such a way that we believe in God, we believe in Krishna, we believe in Harinam, everything. We believe in Vaishnava. But their actions and words are just the contrary. And interesting is when we see such people, what they are speaking and how they are acting, we can see it's not matching. They are contrary. What they speak and what they act doesn't carry any meaning. One person, he was a preacher, not from Gaudiya line, and he is from other line, and he is giving Bhagavad Saptaha. And then he said we should not eat these vegetables. We have to follow vrata like this, like that, very nicely. And then after that, what he is doing, he is asking them to cook this particular vegetable. They said, you just mentioned that you should not consume all those things. He said, that is to speak on stage. If we follow everything, then nothing will remain to eat. What we will eat? So just cook, no problem. Pure devotees are not that kind of people. Pure devotees are not that kind of people. What they believe, what they realized, that's what they speak, and that's what they live up to. Not like these people. They claim themselves that we believe in God, we believe in Krishna, we believe in everything, seva. But what you believe in? That everyone should come and offer me their service. Like that. They are not ready to serve, but they are always ready to accept service. That kind of people, they are very dangerous. They do not conform to their professions even to the slightest extent. If one believes in God, he must necessarily believe in the word of God as well, which is very important. So, if one says, I believe in God, that means you should also believe in the word of God. I believe you, but I don't want to believe your words. Then what is the point? I respect you, but I don't want to follow you. Then what is the respect? So these kind of people are that kind of people. They say that we believe in God, but we don't believe in His form. When God is omnipotent, He is omnipresent, He is omniscient, then why can't he have a form? They believe in God, but they don't believe in the qualities of the Lord. They don't believe in the form of the God. They say that it is not possible. Why? Because their brain has logged it. Their brain says, he is not devotee, and then that's it. If he is a devotee or whatsoever, I am least bothered. Such kind of mentality is very much seen in this world. Persons like Gopal Chakravarti, you have to believe in the word of the God. Simply by making the lip movement of the holy name of the Lord and also the words of the Lord is not going to solve any real purpose. Whatever purpose of life is there is not achieved, is not solved. If simply by making this lip movement, means speaking like parrot, but no respect, no following, no system, nothing, then it is not going to help. Holy name is not going to descend in the heart of such a kind of unqualified devotees, unqualified so-called devotees, or unqualified so-called preachers, anyone, whomsoever the person is. The holy name descends on the most sacred place. That sacred place is one's heart, which has fully surrendered onto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, Vaishnava and Bhagwan. We shall discuss further tomorrow. Thank you very much. Jai Radhe Shyam.